No brains, like, no brains at all. Literally no brains. Hello and welcome to episode 1 of Frogs Hollow Racing TV, brought to you by our great partners at TC Media and Rose and Sons Earthmoving, brought to you live at Frogs Hollow Studios. My name's Toby Cooper and I'd like to introduce my co-host for this evening, the man himself, Wheelie Derek Rose, 4-time New South Wales outright state champion and also a Hall of Famer in the New South Wales off-road circuit. Wheelie, exciting times for us here at Frogs Hollow.
Something different anyhow, Toby, just so you know. Something way different.
It's been in the pipeline for a few years now, but here we are, looking to just get a bit technical and just have a look around the grounds and a few things in ideas moving forward.
Well, I thought you were only joking. Look where we're sitting. Bugger you.
So basically, we'll start off, we'll give a rundown of a review of the events that have happened over the past few weeks. We'll then head into a segment called Frogs Hollow Highlights. Then we'll also go into where we'll select a big winner, hardship award, and one to watch out for moving forward into the year. We'll also then have a one-on-one interview with a recent AORC champion at St George, Josh Howes. Looking forward to catching up with him. A quick quiz segment known as Has Wheelie Been Paying Attention, which we'll also get to later, testing his knowledge on off-road. And then we'll preview the upcoming events in the next few weeks. So we're looking forward to that. We'll also give an exclusive tip into who we think is going to win here at Frogs Hollow. So straight into our first event review, Wheelie, was St George, round 1 of the BF Goodridge Motorsport Australian Off-Road Racing Championship over at St George, of course in Queensland. We were lucky enough to be there. You raced the event yourself. I was lucky enough to call it and bring home Josh as the winner, but give us a bit of an insight into St George.
St George was good. Josh went, well, prologue number 1, backed up in the top 10. Mate, won't get much better than that.
It was brilliant. Brilliant from start to go.
Unbelievable, mate.
And just, as you said, a 5-second win in the prologue, then he claimed the top 10 shootout, and then he just went from leaps and bounds and just he started 5 minutes in front of the last lap, cruised home the last lap, 4.5 minute victory. The perfect result for our sport.
Just kept his cool, mate. Like, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Bit of luck, keep you cool, steer it well, hold it out.
Got the job done. So I'm looking forward to catching up with him shortly. Also, Greg Hartner fought hard all weekend in the second. He was our 3rd or 4th all weekend. Consistency. He knows a few podium finishes will get him the Australian title at the end of the year. So Greg Gartner and Jamie Jennings out of South Australia in their trophy truck. Another good result.
Yeah, another real good result. You know, he had a little bit of trouble with the truck with some throttle position switch, I think it was, or something like that. But mate, he proved that one. Put it back to mechanical and just hold it in.
Hold it flat on the side. Always putting on a show for the crowd. And here's an interesting one. 3rd place, of course, was Mick Spokes. Oh, what a run from him. We said in the shed only the week before when he caught in on his way through. Between 6 and 10 I had him sitting at the end of the weekend, but the finish in 3rd, he had that prologue battle with Jason Richards all weekend, but he was scintillating all weekend.
Oh, unbelievable, mate. Like,
Brad
come
Rogan
on, like,
navigator's seat.
He's gone from a class 2, got this car, rebuilt it from scratch to bottom, stripped it out. Mate, he'd be still on top of the table and just going to bed thinking about it.
Hopefully, we all knew the potential Mick had, but hopefully now in the new gym coke and we'll get him down to Love Day and see what he'll throw the cut amongst the pigeons down there also.
Oh, he'll definitely definitely cut amongst the pigeons, mate, literally.
Yeah, he's a top prospect in Australian off-road racing. It's been a long time coming for Mick. Good to see him back on the track. Now, Bo Robinson also was unlucky. He had that flat tyre in the last lap when he was 2nd, so bad luck there for OBR. Another class win for Jeff Pickering in his Pajero. Last car to finish full distance. I think it's 4 out of 4 at St George for Jeff. One of the veterans in Australian off-road racing with Lucky Matusi, a good mate from Cessnock. But it's good to see the veterans still poking around.
Oh, mate, the veterans what started the sports, and hopefully at the end of the day they'll end it. Like that's what it's all about. Like you see them older generation, you see the young generation, take your hats off, go and give them a hand, change the tyre, throw a bit of dirt, whichever way.
He loves his motorsport. He'll be back, I think, also round 2 of the championship. Big performance by ex-V8 supercar driver Paul Wheel. That was impressive. He was around that 10 or 12th place at the after the opening day, but he found himself 5th at the end of the weekend. Jason Richards continued his love affair with Queensland. He finished 4th. He had that steering wheel problem on the first heat on the Sunday, but he managed to bring home the Chenoweth in 4th, so he's just 2nd in the pro lot class. He's a very strong campaigner from Griffith.
Big time.
And also a little battle you had early on the weekend with a fellow Warriata member, Sam Egan and Billy Coote. They finished 9th. You must be pretty proud with those guys over the weekend.
Oh, mate, you won't get much better. When Sam gets it together, and he never prologued real well, but I'll tell you what, mate, he does steers well, and with Bill Cooper beside him, mate, you won't get much better.
And yourself, you had a bit of a mixed bag over there?
Yeah, me and JJ, mate, we had a good time. We prologued real well. Had a couple of little hallelujahs in prologue, but yeah, went on just got feeling things with the car, and yeah, we're going to top that, mate, and on.
Overall, it was a perfectly run event. Motorsport Australia and the Sequoia Off-Road Racing Association put on a bell ring of a race over there. So now we'll move on to an interview. We'll join recent St George 399 champion Josh Howes for an exclusive one-on-one chat at Howes Motorsports headquarters right now. Right, we'd like to welcome to our first episode of Frogs Hollow Racing TV. We have our victor from the round 1 of the Australian Off-Road Racing Championship at St George, Josh Howes from Howes Motorsport. Good friends of ours. Derek, how are you, Josh?
Good, mate. How are you, boys?
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Big win at St George only about 6 weeks ago. You must be bloody proud of your result over there and for the team.
Mate, yeah, it was huge. It was definitely felt good. I had only won a state round before, and yeah, going out there and winning it sort of from start to finish, it was a pretty good feeling, that's for sure.
I'd reckon it was, Josh. Like, you prologued number 1, and then backed it up in the top 10 shootout and come out with a back on top with first. You and Eric, mate, what a combination. Like, you pair must, when you're in the car, you must just torque it, suit it, steer it, point it.
Yeah, mate, it's a great combination. I've always said to when I wanted a navigator before Eric, I just used to say just someone that will sit down, shut up and hold on and just not talk to me, because yeah, we got the the radios that can talk to the pits, and Dad used to have it on, so he talks to Ali, talks to me, and I used to switch it off all the time. I just like to put my head down and drive and not have any distractions. But yeah, since having Eric in the car, he's slowly started to talk more and more, and then sometimes I'm asking him to even talk some more, because yeah, these longer races, you drift off a little bit, start thinking about other things, believe it or not, and yeah, he just keeps me cool, keeps me focused, and mate, couldn't really be a better combination the way we have it going at the moment.
Yeah, I actually agree with you, because at the end of the day, like Eric used to hop in with Jack Guy, mixed spokes, which are not being silly in the state stuff are right up there, and I used to love him. And then yeah, like I said, he hopped in with you, and well, look at it, look at the results. Like, just goes to show, doesn't it?
And Josh, you had the big Friday. You got the top 10 shootout trophy there at the Cobb & Co Hotel. You had your section 1 in the bag, a dominant victory there. Was there any stage on Sunday afternoon where you actually thought about, hang on, this could be my weekend?
To be honest, like all weekend, I kept it positive. I sort of I took it a little different. I know that everyone sort of goes through everyone's racing the same track, so it was after, we did the prologue. I won that. I was quite impressed. We sort of raced the shootout, which they then flip the order. So then I was sort of racing out of 10th position, as such. And then, sort of racing that. We had the sun come down a lot. We had a bit of a stoppage because there was a rollover. That sun just got that so low to the sort of horizon that it was in my eyes. And I thought it was going to affect the final 3 cars, and we all took off. And obviously everyone's racing the same track, and it sort of showed when I got got the shootout win that, look, it is what it is, and there's no trying to push your car and to push the limits and wreck anything. So I knew, looking at that big track, there was some wet puddles out the back. There was sections where, it wasn't it wasn't a buggies track here and there, and it was more suited to a sort of a truck style thing.
Yes,
but
it was.
Yeah, and I just sort of, I just kept in my head the cool and just thought, everyone's dealing with the same thing. Just get through them sections and then drive the way I drive. And there's no point binning it in them small areas where you think you've got to be going Mach 1.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. And, pretty much all weekend I kept my cool and just knew that once I had that bit of a time buffer, I just had to control that and I should be right.
And that was another thing, obviously, starting off on that last section, you had that a large advantage, which was very nice. Going into that last lap, you had the Big Bo and Greg Garton, a couple of angry trophy trucks behind you. I know, like, first real big race, obviously, you had a big second at Fink in 2019, but to lead them AORC regular national guys off with Mark Burrows, like it was a field rich with history, some big names. It must have been just an honour just to be leading the pack out, and obviously, all eyes now lead into the big one at Fink.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, them names are, still surreal to hear that I'm racing against them, and, especially, say like the Mark Burrows or any of them big names, and to hang out with Greg Gartner and all them boys, it's huge for them to come up and congratulate me at an end of the event, which they do, and, it's definitely a surreal thing, and it's tested the nerves, and, hopefully this is one of many victories, and I know the feeling now, but it's definitely nerve-wracking taking off in front of them boys.
So how's the prep for Fink coming along, Josh? Like, it didn't hurt the car, like as far as St George wise, it come out pretty well, so you don't have to do too much for Fink, or full strip out and back together.
That's what we thought, but when we come home, we sort of start looking at things, and then it's no sooner the car's in every bit of Australia, and all our great helpers. We got the gearbox up at Ron Smith's race trans there, getting worked on. Motor's still good. Craig Carrison's motors are unreal, and that doesn't need attention. We got Eddie from Fast Suspension Tune looking at the shocks, making sure they're all right to go for Fink.
Yep.
And other than that, just your general service.
Just a general service.
On everything, but cars are in a million bits. I'd like to say there isn't much prep going into the next round, but unfortunately, it's just huge.
Yeah, huge for Fink, considering over there you got second outright, and now winning St George, so it'll be a big blast to go into Fink.
It's one of the favourites,
as you will be nearly one of the favourites. I know we got Toby Price and the boys, and Bo and them are going to be chasing hard, and Garner, but mate, you're one of the favourites.
Yeah, and that's pretty surreal to think for me as well. But like going up, I think for our second year, it wasn't last year, 2019 was our second year, and going up there thinking that I was going to finish second wasn't a thing in my mind, that's for sure. But now I'm thinking that we can finish that high up, and it's just being there, and sometimes it can even just be there at the end. I know I qualified quick. I don't have great track knowledge up there, but I can carry some pretty good speed.
Oh yeah,
so
definitely.
It will just be it'll be where I sit, and really, if I put my head down, I should be chasing the points up there and just looking to get there and back.
Yep.
More than anything else, but we'll just give it a crack and just put our head down.
And obviously, Josh, just quickly before we let you go, we know, obviously, growing up, Derek's knew you race against your father there. I've grown up with you at the track since mid-2000s, and it's been a privilege watching you and your sister grow up in the sport. Obviously, a great team behind you. Obviously, who would you like to thank in particular from your big win at St George and moving forward into the rest of the season?
Look, it's always the biggest thanks goes out to my old man for everything he does for both me and my sister. He dedicates basically his life to what we do.
Yeah.
Mate, and with that comes all the other helpers. Second, I wouldn't put them in all in order, but definitely Uncle Pete. My Uncle Pete spends a lot of time with Dad. And almost every day of the week working on everything, and I've said in previous interviews, it's not always, you're not just working on a car, you're working on a truck that gets the cars halfway across Australia and back, and we've had plenty of dramas and thrown plenty of expense getting our circus to different events, and it's still never enough, and if, one thing's gets you there. It's another thing that breaks, but there's always stuff, and these all test your nerves when you're racing as well. But it's huge, and more to that, the people to thank are everyone that helps us out. That doesn't. My dad's not a mechanic, and either is anyone else in our family, but we give it a good crack, and the people that do are experts in their fields. Are willing to pick up the phone when we need it on a Sunday night or on a Saturday night or any day of the week. So they're the people that are in off-road, and even like you boys that keep us interested and make a good thing out of it, like you're doing right now. And all these people are motivators for us to do what we do.
No, it's good. Well, once again, Josh, thanks for joining us on our first episode of Frogs Hollow. We're very proud of what you've done, obviously, so far in your career, watch you grow up from that little, when you used to race young Jared Everly around Carlo Park in that little sportsman. Straight away, I was only about 15 or 14 at the time or so, I said to Derek, this bloke's got skill, and obviously you've transcended to the top of the sport. So on behalf of Frogs Hollow, mate, we wish you and the team, and Ali, of course, all the best for Fink and for the rest of the season.
Good on you, boys. Thanks very much. Thanks, guys.
How good was that, Derek? We caught up with Josh there. That's good. Goosebumps material there, chatting to Josh after his breakthrough victory over at St George. And as you said before, we wish them all the best for their Think campaign and heading into the rest of the 2021 season.
Yeah, no, mate, he's a cool operator. He sounds cool.
Chats well too.
Yeah, he loves a
quite
chat.
Quite
achiever. And, mate, him and his sister, mate, they'll bring on at Fink.
Bring it on.
Yeah, look out for Josh.
And now on to our second event review for the episode. We'll go to the Pooncarie ARB Desert Dash, which was last weekend. Of course, round one at the ARB Australian Off-Road Racing Championship. And one with a bit of prestige and a bit of history with us here in Wariata was Brett Plant winning the event there in the ex-Terry Rose Gymco. So that meant a lot to a lot of people back home. So big win in the pro lot, only 11 seconds over Aaron and Liz Havey, who had a few issues there in the final stages, but a massive win for the pro lot campaigners.
Oh yeah, he's got the car like that. Exterior road Gymco, mate. You won't get any better. Like would love to bought that car myself, but it's up there. And I'll tell you what, mate, he'll do well for the rest of the year. Look, keep an eye on him.
Hold it flat.
Hold it flat.
Great performance, as we said. And then in second position, Aaron and Liz Havey. They had a bit of their own bad luck there in the last stage. Power steering failure around 70 k's from home, I saw on Facebook. We saw them in Rainbow last year. They were blitzering. They were sensational from start to finish. An easy win down there in the AIC South Australian Cup. 5 minutes back in third was first of the Martin brothers. Brent come home in the Gymco, and then 6 minutes further back to brother Dale Martin in the Tatum. So family, the Martin brothers doing their thing nicely to start the season.
Yeah, how good would it be to just race your brother? I just wish I could do that. Like, which one's going to take? Flip the coin. Who's got the cards at the end of the day? But yeah, how cool.
Good rivalry.
Good rivalry.
Then Daniel Wells, so another one of our history names in off-road. Daniel Wells was consistent as ever, crossing 5th position in his Aussie Spec Tatum Class 10 machine.
It's a good machine. I actually sold him a spare engine for that car, and I'll tell you what, mate, you won't get much better. He's a good steerer.
Yeah, good steerer.
Class 2 when he had
the bonus, and he was very quick in that.
Very quick.
Also great to see Annie and Danny Brown both on track in their Lumi crafts. Great to see the Brown name still circulating. So all the best for you guys for the remainder of the season. And then Jason Richards continued his hot form. He come home in 7th. And then fellow Griffith member Dan McGinley crossed in 9th. So congratulations to those guys. A quick wrap of the Gascoigne Dash, which is also held over Easter in Carnarvon. We saw the brother and sister Troy and Deb Sean get their 3rd victory at the event, the first time in the S&S Schiller frame machine. A 16-minute victory, doesn't come much easier than that.
No way much easier, and how good is it? Australian built car.
Love it. 450 kilometres in the King of the River title there for Troy and Deb Sean. Brad Cooper in his back pro buggy finished 2nd. Then a further 9 minutes back to 3rd was Jaden Gruha in a Can-Am. So that's the wrap the Gascoigne Dash. So now we'll go into an exciting segment for us. It's the Frogs Hollow highlights, who we select who is hot on the track, a bad luck story, and also someone we've been keeping an eye on moving forward. What do you think, Barry?
Yeah, Josh House, definitely. Definitely, and keep an eye on, believe it or not, keep an eye on Mick Spokes.
Definitely, keep an eye on him moving forward for the rest of the season. Hopefully we'll see him around. And another race, the Hardship Award for me. Definitely can't go past Clayton Chapman. He got to the lead with only about 5 or 10 kilometres remaining over there at Pooncarie last weekend. Devastating again for Chapman's racing team. He had a MAP Sensafail 5Ks from home. So he finished in 19th, but what could have been again for Clayton and Adam Maguire.
Yeah.
Long time combination.
Yeah, long time combination.
What about you? Hardship award.
Bo Robertson.
Again.
Yeah, and believe it or not, we bloody self.
Yeah,
Me and
so-
JJ had a. We finished every lap, but we just had things that weren't money, just them little things everyone in off-road racing, as they know, the $2 part.
And Bo, second, just cruising around. Knew he couldn't catch Josh. He admitted, he said he's
Yeah, no,
Josh
couldn't
would do
catch him.
his thing.
He was having a fish
flat
behind him.
tyre, and then the jack
Yep.
issue. Just, I think he come home in 13th or 14th, but another one of those days for OBR. We're now going to one to watch moving forward into the season. I'm going to pick Joshua Wideman. He's a 16-year-old youngster out of Queensland. First time I've seen him in action at St George in the Can-Am, a top 20 in the prologue. He prologued in front of Toby Waitley. So there's big things ahead for young Josh Wideman. Who are you looking at? There's one to watch out for.
Talbot Cox. I reckon, yeah. Mate, he's smooth, he's not stupid, and mate, if the car can hold together, holy God.
2 DNS to
Yeah,
start
2
the
DNS.
season, so
He'd be getting really itchy at the feet.
he'll be looking,
Really?
he'll unleash this weekend for sure.
Be
But
keen to see.
look out for Talbot Cox. So now a little segment we'll start off is called "Has Wheelie Been Paying Attention?" So it's a bit of a quiz segment here. First
Here
up,
we go.
first question for the man himself: who has claimed 4 Dong Ding Along titles, which included 4 consecutive from 2015? Was it A. Peter Carr, B. Glenn Hoffman, or C. Justin Guy?
Young guy, and he'll be
Okay.
bloody hard to
Hard
catch
again
next
this
weekend too.
So then we'll go on to question 2. Who won the 2019 Burdekin 300? Was it A. Clayton Chapman, B. Talbot Cox, or C. Michael Marson?
Talbot Cox.
He got to the lead. It was only him and Marson really. Chapman and Mick Collins had a bit of a battle there, but yeah, Talbot Cox ran away with the race. Pure speed and local knowledge, that North
Local
Queensland
knowledge,
knowledge,
mate.
just
Local
knows the terrain. Question 3. Who claimed the third outright of the 2002 Powerhouse Kempsey 500? Was it A. Mark Burrows, B. Hayden Bentley, or C. Mick Spokes?
Mick Spokes.
It was Mick Spokes. So it's been 18
Geez,
years.
that's going back a long time ago.
It's been 18 years for Mick Spokes to get back on. ORC paid him, so that's another great step in the direction for Spokes Racing. So that's 3 out of 3, really. That was pretty impressive.
I didn't have a little bit of paper either.
No, you never will. So now we'll look at the preview of what's to come moving forward. The first one is this weekend at the Burdekin 300 in North Queensland. One of the favourite races in North Queensland. We want to get up there one day. It's round 2 of the Queensland ARB Off-Road Racing Championship. One to watch out for me, the defending champion Talbot Cox, for me is the one to beat. Brett Comiskey was 7th at St George, last year's Gundy champion. He's in the field. Tony Falaba, Raul Merchant's in the field. Paul Human has the trophy truck out. We also got the Can-Am competitors, Kai Floyd, Bailey Coxon, the Swinglehurst brothers, Jake and Tom, and then young gun Josh Wideman. But Talbot Cox wins it for me.
Yeah, Talbot.
Can't go past Talbot.
You won't, I'll tell you what, but
Comiskey's
I'll
a
tell
dark
you what,
horse.
he won't want to snooze. He'll be in trouble if he snooze.
Yeah,
He's
the problem,
snoozing the helmet, mate.
Comiskey was just crude. He loves it.
Yeah. And don't worry, Tony Flav there too.
Be a good race up there in Queensland. So now we'll move into another race this weekend. So there's off-road action everywhere you look across Australia. In the first weekend of May, we go to the Richard Bennett Enduro in Perilla, South Australia. Another event we want to get to. There's a lot of good remarks about this race down in the farmland terrain of Perilla. To me, again, can't go past Aaron Havey, second at Pooncarie last weekend. He was a 2015 and 2016 champion. 2-time champion Trevor Copeland's in the field. He won the first inaugural Perilla event in 2006. Carl Havey was second there in 18. He's always one to watch in the new Element machine. Daryl Nissen, Chris Johnson. Luke Ersedge is in the field in his new Prolite machine. Andrew Miles is going to make the trip down from Alice Springs. His daughter Tegan is bringing a Super 1650 buggy down also. So a big effort from those guys. And Tony Waitley from Loveday Park in Barmera, he's bringing the rush truck out also. But for me, at the end of the weekend, 3 McKays, if Aaron Hayden finishes, he wins it.
Oh, mate, me too. I'm not going to even argue about that. He's
a standout class down in South Australia at the moment.
Right.
And now on to our last event preview for episode 1 here at Frogs Hollow TV. We'll go to the Dong Dingalong Off-Road Challenge in Kempsey. which is next weekend in downtown on the east coast of Kempsey. Round 1 of the Motorsport Australia New South Wales Off-Road Championship. One to watch out for, 4-time champion Justin Guy, as we said before, consecutively 4 years in a row. So you can't go past Jack Guy in the Jimco. Anthony Abson, as you know, is our current New South Wales champion in his single-seater Lumicraft. He'll be there at the finish. Tim Baker, Craig Barnett, Tommy Dixon, they're all quality pro buggies. Peter Carr won the event in 2019. He's one of the quick Can-Am competitors in New South Wales. Yourself, Derek Rose, and there is a big battle going to be unveiled out there. Yourself and fellow teammate in the race co, Joshua Rose.
Yeah, JJ's
How's it going to unfold?
JJ's first proper race, as they say,
In the race go.
in the race go, ball off quarter, and we'll see, mate. But I'll tell you
Bragging
what,
rights.
it'll be bragging rights, but you want to drive.
On drive.
But I reckon jump for the win over there if they get a bit of drive with it.
Justin will Peter Carr will be hard to beat.
Peter Carr will be hard to beat.
As we talked about before, it's all about that start at Don Dinglong. You get that good.
You've got to probably look hard at Don Dinglong. If you don't probably look hard, mate, you might as well go home. That's what it's all about.
So that just about wraps up our show here for episode 1 at Frogs Hollow TV. It's been a blast. Hopefully many more to come. We'll go to Don Dinglong next weekend and see what it's all about. Maybe interview a few of our stars over there. Then we'll be back in a couple of weeks' time and we'll review Burdekin, Perilla, and then of course our big event over at Don Dinglong. So over and out for episode 1.
Cheers, mate.